Sibingelele ngokuhlonipha umongameli welizwe umhlonishwa ubaba uCyril Ramaphosa kanye nephini lakhe nabo bonke abaholi abakhona ahambisana abamkhaphile. Sibingelele umndeni wakwaMthethwa odingiswayo, umndeni wakwaButhelezi kwamama uMaButhelezi, nemindeni yonke ehlangene ngokuzila. Ngimi lapha kwi-protocol eseyethulwe umphathi wohlelo ubaba uKhuzeni. We gather here today in the quiet, in the hallowed space that grief has carved for us. We stand together under a sky that feels different now, that has welcomed a new star, one we can barely see through the veil of our eyes. In the somber and solemn stillness of time, we struggle to collect our grief, to come to terms with the tragedy that has struck us, suddenly and callously, yet with the certainty that nobody could prevent. The inevitable tide of time has decreed that we should today assemble here like this, in solemn grief, to pay tribute to a man none of us ever imagined we would so soon have to bid farewell to. Nyambose, Umnisi, as he was fondly known among us, his generation of ANC Youth League leaders, was not destined for the past tense, but had for long been a vital part of our present tense, and we imagined our future. He was a gentle, affable, and kind soul, a steady hand and a calm and reassuring mind in turbulent times, whilst physically in the present but living in the future, able at all times to articulate the type of future we wanted for ourselves as a people. His kindness belied his fortitude forged in the crucible of the struggle, calm and yet assured and unwavering in his convictions, which saw him take the cudgels of the struggle, prepared to make all the sacrifices required for the pursuit of freedom. A reliable comrade and friend, he never bowed to oppression or cowered even in front of the apartheid death machine. Not the fear of the crazy, trigger-happy apartheid gunmen, nor the cruelty of the vigilantes, not the sound of the prison's door, nor the siren of the apartheid police vans. None of that would take away from him his courage and instill in him fear for the oppressor. For his kindness, concealed hidden beneath his character, a courage of 1,000 warriors. When the news of Nyambose's passing began circulating, we all took them for bad rumors that have become typical of social media these days. Indeed, how could we suddenly accept that a man so full of life was gone? Even after official confirmation, it still felt unreal. We cannot still bring ourselves to refer to him in the past tense. To lose Nyambose in such tragic circumstances is a wound that cuts too deep. Nyambose carried many titles: comrade, leader, minister, and until recently ambassador. But to some of us, he was more than these titles. He was just simply Nathi, Mnisi, Nyambose, Dingswayo, Nkonyane. And each time you called him Nkonyane, he would smile. A friend and a brother with whom we shared decades of struggle, debate, laughter, and learning. We met decades ago as young activists in the South African Youth Congress and subsequently the ANC Youth League in Southern Natal. From those early days, his dedication to the struggle, political education and organization was not only evident, but it was already unmatched. He worked tirelessly both in rebuilding the ANC Youth League as well as in the political education of its members. He was a serious and committed revolutionary, as he was profoundly loyal as a friend. The bonds we forged during those early years in the struggle have endured across decades through both public service and personal milestones. But it will always be as a leader and revolutionary that we shall always remember him. I fondly recall how he and Mayor Cyril Xaba guided our ANC Youth League delegation through tense 1993 peace talks with the IFP Youth Brigade. Despite a long history of violent conflict between our groups, their strong visionary leadership steered us towards a crucial agreement. They consistently emphasized that peace was essential for the youth, not out of cowardice, but from a strategic understanding that stability is necessary for a social revolution, driven by a concern that our generation had a duty to build a new South Africa after enduring years of violence. His sense of humor and humility often belied his seriousness and devotion to any task assigned to him, always prepared to file among the ranks as he was to lead from the front line. His subsequent roles as the Majority Chief Whip in the National Assembly and his elevation to Minister of Police and subsequently Sports, Arts and Culture came as no surprise to all of us who knew him. He also took to his new role as ambassador with the expected zeal, an opportunity to fulfill his progressive internationalism. In every position he held, he carried out his duties with humility, singular-mindedness and devotion. Wearing every responsibility he was assigned with equal pride and devotion, always serving South Africa with integrity. Nothing was too big or too small and trivial for him. Never an armchair revolutionary, he knew that one of the hazards of concrete action was exposing oneself to mistakes that could possibly be judged harshly, either by posterity or even armchair critics. Yet he was committed to serve, to do his part in the service of his people and country in the pursuit of total emancipation. In that regard, Nyambose was a builder and nurturer of institutions who immersed himself in the task of building the ANC Youth League as an organizer. Even when he was no longer in the leadership of the Youth League, we would often call upon him to assist in the organizational development of our structures, which would have somehow collapsed. Nyambose was also a political commissar, a developer of consciousness, and advocate for renewal whose role was therefore pivotal and indispensable in the current period in the movement. He was actively involved in the conceptualization of the O.R. Tambo School and drafting of the ANC's strategy and tactics, which serves as our movement's theory of revolution. Nyambose was a historian and cultural activist who believed this vital for social cohesion and for the forging of our common national identity as a people. He believed history was not merely a record of the past, but a guide for the present and future. Nyambose was also a progressive internationalist who advocated for Africa's full and genuine decolonization, as well as the independence and national self-determination for the peoples of Western Sahara and Palestine. He was keen to demonstrate how deeply our local struggles were interconnected with continental struggles against colonialism, as well as the global struggle for a new and better Africa in the world. And Nyambose was a theoretician who believed theory was a guide to action. And revolutionaries must be imbued with the theory of the struggle and society in which they lived, if they must know what is to be done. The heavy burden we have carried in our hearts and on our souls since the news of his passing has weighed heavily on our souls. How much heavier must it have been for his family, his children, and especially his soulmate, our dearest sister Philisiwe. Your loss has been heavier than ours. We have now returned him to the land which shall now become his final place of abode. Blessed be the soil that will now embrace him in his bosom and be his final place of rest. The seasons pass, but that passing is not an erasure, but a memory held in the seed. The unexpected buoyant melody that finds you on a difficult morning must serve always as a reminder of his life. We say thank you, our dearest brother. Rest now, dear heart. Your stanza in our shared song is complete, and it was beautiful. But the song itself, it goes on. We will carry the melody for you. This is how a friend remains eternal. Your voice will echo in our memories. We wish your family God's strength and comfort. We trust that time will heal your deepest wounds. Nyambose, Tingswayo, Nkonyane, rest easy, brother. Thank you.